Alright, what's up? So I know a lot of people have been asking me for a direct shot guide, so it's finally here, and I hope you enjoy the video. And let me know if you have any questions or anything. I will answer them as soon as I can. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any other suggestions in the comments below, and I will do them most probably because Locked needs content because it hasn't been updated in a while. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yo, what's up? So I've been asked for a direct shot guide for a while now, and well, here we are. And although this account isn't on direct shot, I have two other accounts. One's on Riptide and one's on direct shot. So let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, what does direct shot do? Now, I'm pretty sure all of you know whose weapon direct shot is. It's Isagi's from the manga or anime. And basically it only works in box, in this penalty box, when you get a pass from a teammate. So that blue icon, you gotta press M, join the same team, and that's when, you know, your direct shot will procs. Okay, so I'm gonna pass myself the ball, and you can see direct shot procs there. One thing you do need to know about direct shot is that it'll, you know, boost your power, but it doesn't do anything else. It doesn't give you iframes, doesn't do anything else, right? So it's a common weapon, which is it's really strong. It's probably the strongest common weapon. And the only way you can proc it is through a teammate, which is what, you know, gives it its, like, I mean, justifies its power, I guess. So anyways, now let's get to the, like, a little more advanced stuff. Now, okay, so another thing you need to know about direct shot is that it will only proc when you're in box. So whenever you're in box, it doesn't matter if the ball's in box or not, it'll still proc. So even if like half your body is in box, it'll still proc. So I'll show you. I'll pass to myself over there, and the ball's outside of box, but my direct shot still procs. So you can use it with Planetary, you can use it with stuff like Riptide, and that's why I have that account here right now, which I will be showing you in a sec. But that's basically what direct shot does. Gives you a boosted power shot, and it's the second strongest shot, or I get, yeah, no, it's stronger than Emp. I know that. I know it's stronger than Emp, and it's the second strongest after Formless. So it's Formless, direct shot, and then Emp. Before the buff, direct shot got a buff a while ago. Before the buff it was way slower, but now it's actually really viable. And I suggest running it as like a winger or a striker. Striker I don't know about, because if you're marked by a lot of people, it's really hard to get a direct shot off. But I think mostly as a winger or like a CAM if you're willing to play CAM in box, but it's kind of risky. Mostly I suggest winger. It's way easier. It's like second striker or something. So yeah, that's basically all for what direct shot is. Now I'll be getting into how to use it. Now I'll just be teaching you the basics of direct shot, where you want to aim, how you want to aim, and what you want to do in certain situations. So before I do start with that, I want to tell you that there's a time window for whenever direct shot procs. So if I were to pass myself the ball and wait, let's say 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, my direct shot doesn't proc, right? But if I were to wait 1.5 or 2 seconds, so over here, it'll still proc. So there's a time frame that you have to hit your direct shot in, otherwise it won't proc. So you don't have an infinite amount of time. So you can't emp from here till the other side of the court and pop a DS. It doesn't work. But yeah, so that's just all I wanted to mention before I start. So right, like I said, it only pops in box. So you want to try getting a pass over here in box. So usually you want to avoid the middle because it's very crowded. But if you think you can get a shot in the middle, it's the best way to, you know, score with direct shot, because you have 3 options: left, middle, and right. So it's just a general shooting rule. If you get to shoot from the middle, then do it. But if you can't, then don't force it, right? So let's say I'm a right winger and I want to score with direct shot here. Now, if I get myself to pass to my other account, so let's say I sword screw it to my other account. I crossbarred it, oh my god. So yeah, you see how direct shot is like a really simple weapon, but the way you shoot it can differ depending on what your defenders are doing or what the goalkeeper is doing. So there's 2 types of shots with direct shot. There's a grass cutter and then there's a top bin shot. Okay, so a grass cutter, pretty self-explanatory, is just looking at the floor and doing it, where it just goes straight on the floor and obviously cuts the grass. That's why henceforth grass cutter. That's good because a lot of defenders jump to block, chest bump to block, and a lot of GKs think that you're gonna go for top bins. So you want to mix it up as much as you can, and you want to observe what the other players are doing, right? So there's that, and then there's the top bin shot, if I don't miss it, yeah. So that's the top bins. Usually you want to go for top bins when you have a good angle. So something like this, where if I were to pass to myself, I have a good angle and I go top bins. I don't know why it's lagging, maybe because I'm running 3 accounts, but yeah. Those are 2 types of shots you can take with direct shot. Now, the next thing I want to cover is that you can do direct shot mid-air, and it's probably recommended to do it mid-air if you're running bunnies. Now, a lot of people that I've seen run bunnies with direct shot due to the receiving. So they can receive and DS, or they can like fake it. There's a lot of things to do. So direct shot's mostly about mind games rather than just shooting it into the goal. So let's say I were to receive it while holding M2. So the GK would think, oh, I'm going to direct shot it, right? Like if I hold the M2, the GK is going to be aware of the fact that I'm going to DS. Now, if I were to do this instead, oh, well, I fucked up my pass, but if I were to do this instead, I fake the shot and then chest bump it or let it go through to a teammate. I kind of fucked up the chest bump, and I forgot that M2 M1's illegal now, but you can still fake it. You can M1 it like that. So it's kind of hard to get used to, but you will once you start playing it a lot. But I'm a 6'3" bunnies on that account, so you can fake your shot like this, M1 it, and then dribble it in. The sound cue does throw people off. There's in a GK perspective, sound cues matter a lot, which is mentioned in my GK guide. So yeah, sound cues matter a lot, so you can abuse those by faking your direct shot. So you hold M2 and then shoot and then M1. So it's basically like a normal chop, but just make sure you M1, because whenever you don't M1, it ends up being a grass cutter like this. So if I don't M1, just look straight at the ground, it'll kind of go forward, and you most probably lose control. So just M1 it whenever you can. Now the next way to use direct shot to kind of fuck with the defense is just waiting. Like I said, the time window does matter a lot. So you can do it instantly, like how I did earlier, where I instantly shoot it, so I charge it and I shoot it like that. You can do that, or you can delay it. So you can delay it like this. Now, you wait for the GK to pre-dive or the defenders to move, and then you shoot it. So usually what I do when I use DS is delay a lot, because I know a lot of people panic whenever the ball's in box. So you gotta be composed when you're using DS. Now, the other thing, which is kind of like a basic, some basic advice I can give you for a DS, is that try to be in open space rather than crowded spaces. And you can run to open spaces, but the thing is, while the pass is coming towards you, unless you're 5'3" long strides, there's not much you can do in a situation where you have to aim and shoot and full charge. So if you could tap the DS, then I'd definitely recommend, just running towards space, but you have to full charge it, and that has a pretty long animation. So yeah. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, it's kind of like a tech, quote-unquote tech, but it's kind of like a feature as well, mechanic, kind of. It's called Slide DS, where you slide to reach the ball, so if it's a through pass. So I want to use my Riptide for this. I'm going to pull up my Riptide account. And bring it a bit closer. So let's say I were to through pass to the right side over there. And this account is standing here. Now, usually, if I do this, I can't reach it over there, right? But if you know how to slide M2 and you're in box and you have direct shot, then it should be good, because you can do this. And I think it's very underrated, especially for like 5'3s, because they have less range. As a 6'3, you don't want to use it much, because you can just receive it over people when you're running direct shot bunnies or something. But if you're running direct shot quick draw, I don't suggest playing striker as a 6'3. But if you're running 5'3, depending on whatever your strengths are, sure, go for it. But yeah, that's really all for the basic techs. Now I'm gonna move on to a little more advanced stuff, which I don't even know if I can do with while alt tabbing, but I'm gonna try to show you. You can direct shot. So like I said, there's a window with direct shot, but that window gets smaller when you're trying to pass with the header. So usually, a lot of people don't know this, but usually whenever you header, your DS doesn't proc. So you see this? Yeah, you hold. Okay, I was holding it for too long there, but whenever you header from afar, let me see if I can replicate it. Wait. Jesus Christ, I'm so slow. But yeah, now if I were to header it like this, DS doesn't proc, right? But there's I'm pretty sure it's like a 1 second window where you actually, if you header, it will proc. And a lot of people don't know that. They keep saying, oh no, header and DS won't work, but it does. That's why I think Iron Head and Direct Shot are a lethal combo. for a winger and striker. So let's see if I can even do it on 2 accounts. Okay, I just can't do it on 2 accounts. You have to like, the direct shot user has to preemptively charge it. I have a clip of it. Why am I, what the fuck? I have a clip of me doing it with pure, but I'll pull it up right now. But you can direct shot into, I mean, you can header into direct shot, and it can throw people off guard because a lot of people don't know that you can, you know, header into direct shot. Now, the next thing is passing and how you want to receive the passes. So usually this is just basic receiving mechanics, but depending on the range of the pass, this is why I have this account on my no look riptide one. So depending on the range of passes, if the pass is too far, usually, like I said, the whole amp situation, your DS won't proc. Okay, so let's say I pass from half court here, right? Now I go no look and I pass it off, and it procs, okay? Because it's in that 2-second window that you have for DS. But if I were to do it with a normal riptide and it's too slow, let me go further back. Do a normal riptide and it's too slow to reach, my DS won't proc, right? So either to prevent that, you could be deeper in box and then run towards the ball and M2 it. So something like this, where I'm deeper in box, I get the ball from my midfielder or whatever, and I run towards it and I DS. That could work. And there's a lot of other things that you can do, a lot of mix-ups. Now, one thing I do want to talk about with direct shot is unshift locking, because I think it's really, really helpful. It allows me to, for me it's helpful because it allows me to move my camera more freely without having to worry about, you know, charging my M2. So I just hold my M2 and unshift lock first, like I hold M2 and then unshift lock. I don't unshift lock and then M2 because sometimes the cursor fucks up and like goes there. So yeah, and your DS is, I mean, just in general, your aim is based on your cursor. So I prefer to just do this because it throws off the GK, like I said in the King guide. I don't know if you watched that, but in the King guide as well, you use your unshift lock a lot while using King. So it's the same principle here. And you want to be able to throw off your GK as much as you can because you don't have anything special. It's just a really powerful shot. So you want to make it as unpredictable as possible. So what I do is I do this. I try to flick or I try to move my camera last second as much as I can and just try to make it as unpredictable. Okay, so that's really all for DS as an individual weapon, but you can use DS with Planetary like I mentioned before. So I have my Planetary account over here and I'm going to show you how you can use it. Right, so I'm going to try doing a Planetary DS combo. So what you got to do is you have to be outside of box because Planetary won't proc unless you're outside of box. So I'm going to flick it up, I'm going to flick it away and then Planetary. And then the ball's in box and I can DS. I know it's a bit, like, you know, it looks really, like, I don't know, weird and bad on 2 accounts because I'm constantly alt-tabbing. But when you have another player to do it with you, it's way easier. Trust me, I've done it multiple times before. And it's really, really nice because it throws them off a lot. But yeah, that's really all for direct shot. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I hope I covered everything. If you have any questions, like I said, feel free to DM me on Discord, feel free to comment. Anything's fine. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.
Oh, go late.
Score.
In.
Dite.
Fuck that goal. Yeah, you like that?